on the air, Jim Trotter said, hey, Mike, I ain't trying to put your business out there. I'm like, damn, what did Mike Jones do?
I was too.
But what it was, the story was, Trotter didn't want to announce. He wasn't sure it was announced publicly that Mike was going from USA Today to The Athletic. I like the mystery better than the actual story, but I'm glad you're with The Athletic. And meet Vinny Goodwill on air for the first time. Good to see brothers in harmony. Vinny, Mike, Vinny. Good to see you both. And Mike, tell us, answer your own question. When you talk about the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Dolphins, you look at it right now after 4 games. Who do you like? Who's the superior team in the AFC?
I have to give it to the Chiefs for right now. I'm really interested in that October 16th game between the Chiefs and the Bills. But until somebody, can really knock them off, you have to give it to them. The way that they look right now, their defense is playing really well. Their offensive line is playing much better. The way they pushed around the Bucs, on Sunday was impressive, 180-something rushing yards. And then we know that Tyreek Hill is gone. We are seeing the evolution of that offense. More guys that the ball is being spread around to. Patrick Mahomes still doing his wizardly ways. But I'm not counting out the Bills because they have a nasty defense. They have a really potent offense. We have to see them get their run game going before I'll say that they are one of the most complete. They are up there. But until we see them get a consistent running game, Josh Allen can't be your leading rusher. So they have a few things to work on there. But those two definitely are the class of the AFC.
I want to stay there. I want to stay there with you because I feel like we're reaching the point with Patrick Mahomes where people are kind of underrating him a little bit, and they're only like limiting him to spectacular plays, like he's a Harlem Globetrotter or something like that. Like, in the NBA, there'd be a year where Carmelo win an MVP or Chuck would sneak one in, but Mike was the baddest man. Are we reaching that point with Patrick Mahomes where we're trying to attribute his success to Tyreek Hill or Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy's system or Travis Kelce, as opposed to saying this guy is really that guy in on maybe a different level than maybe anything we've ever seen?
There have been, yes, you're right. There were people. I don't know who we is. Let's not say we, because I never thought that, he was just Tyreek Hill. We didn't know what that offense was going to look like without Tyreek Hill, but it seems like Mahomes has come into this season after the offseason of hearing all those questions swirl. And he's like, I'm going to show you guys. Like, it doesn't matter who I'm throwing to. I'm going to carry this team. The great ones hear stuff, they internalize it, and they use it as motivation. It looks like Patrick Mahomes, in Jordan-esque fashion, has found something to stoke himself and become even more dominant. Yes, we see the spectacular plays, but he does the simple, the basic, makes the right decisions. And then because he does all that stuff, he's able to pull those bags of tricks out. And I think that this is a statement season for him, could wind up being an MVP caliber season for him. And we'll see how far the Chiefs can go.
And Mike, as you said, Tyreek Hill is not there anymore. We see it, but Tyreek Hill is in Miami. And I think the last time we talked, I was a little skeptical of Mike McDaniel. So okay, shame on me because they got off to a great start. However, Mike McDaniel off the field hasn't really handled himself in the right way. It seems like his personality, it's almost coming back to bite him because he's kind of quirky and he says things that most coaches don't say that plays well 95% of the time. But when Tua Tagovailoa gets a concussion and he comes out and says, I'm glad it was just, essentially it wasn't, the only thing we talking about is a concussion. Not a good comment, Mike. Then secondly, he says, we feel great about everything that we did, but it turns out the doctor who evaluated Tagovailoa was fired because he was not great about everything that he did. So I'm wondering with Tyreek Hill's new team, not necessarily on the field, they got one loss, that's it, but all the things surrounding the Tua injury itself and all the things that led to the Tua injury, how do you think the Dolphins will handle this, and McDaniel specifically, how will he handle this going forward?
Yeah, there is a lot of pressure on him. Now we're seeing, okay, look, fantastic offensive mind, great at drawing an X's and O's up, maybe great at motivating as well. But you see, there's so much more to being a head coach. Mike McDaniel is learning, and he's not used to standing up in front of answering these questions. He talked to the media once a week last year when he was an offensive coordinator. Now he has a spotlight on him, and yeah, he said some things that make you raise an eyebrow. Also shows that, okay, as a head coach, you need to be a little more plugged in to just listening. Oh, hey, he's back, he's good to go, all right, and then put him out there. I think that he was just taking doctor's words for it and wasn't asking any questions. Good. Get me my guy back out there. Let's roll. And now you see it's not just him, because it was one of the independent medical consultants that was fired. But the other guys, the two that were on the sideline with the Dolphins and the guy up in the booth, all of them signed off on him going back in there. So if you're Mike McDaniel, you're saying, okay, everybody's staying here, we good to go. But we now see everybody needs to slow down just a little bit and really look at this thing more carefully, because they put themselves in a bad situation. I'm really curious to see what kind of performance we'll see out of the Dolphins. Tua's not going to be out there, but we'll see how good Mike McDaniel does at scheming, at leading under pressure, because he's got a lot swirling around him, like you said, off the field. And as a head coach, you have to address all that stuff, but you also have to have blinders on. Can this young man do it under pressure here and continue to keep his team on the hot streak, or is this going to derail them? That's a big question.
That's a great point. And I'll tell you this, and I was laughing. I was chuckling to myself a second ago when you said he's a little different. The man said he tries to shower once every 4 days. That don't sound like no type of black man that I know. So when he said he identifies as human, I'm like, oh, you identify as a mammal, like one of those prehistoric type of dudes. I'm like, oh, okay, that's why. That's
Every
why
4
you're
days?
not claiming your blackness, because you shower once every 4 days. I don't know what type of black household you live in, and somebody told you to get your funky ass in the shower. But to the point of the concussions, so much discussion, Mike, has been around players self-reporting, veterans looking out for the young guys, neurologists on the field, coaches. Do you see any way that this culture changes, not necessarily for Tua the next time, but for the next time something like this happens, especially in a position like quarterback, because it's such a singular spot. If it's a linebacker, running back, I feel like it could be a little different. But when it's a quarterback, there's so much more responsibility held there. Do you see any way that changes, where a quarterback will say, yeah, just get my bell rung, let me sit down, or a veteran linebacker comes and says, hey, I know you're not good, you need to sit down? Do you see that culture changing, or are people a little Pollyannish with that?
I think that how this plays out is going to go a long way to answering that question for us. Because on Sunday, okay, the first 3 weeks of the season, 2 players a week, league-wide, were held out with concussions. 13 on Sunday in week 4 here were pulled out of games and held out and not allowed to return. That's a huge spike. Now the NFL and the NFL Players Association are saying, oh, we're not saying necessarily. We'll have to see if that was a coincidence or not. But I think that teams all of a sudden were like, well, we better be more vigilant with this. And they are going to be intensifying protocol. But we will see when it is not just a linebacker or a cornerback or an offensive lineman, when it is a star quarterback, if they are going to say, hey, to be safe, it doesn't matter, we're going to pull you. I think that it is the NFL culture that's in such a bad spot. When you look at other teams, look, hey, you cover the NBA. If LeBron has got some back tightness or knee soreness, he's going to get some load management days. The Yankees are going to throw their ace pitcher out there if he's got elbow soreness. I know that there are fewer games in the NFL, and so the stakes are even higher. But teams have to look at head injuries as, hey, we have to protect our long-term investment. And so if it comes to December with the game on the line, the season on the line, or January when we're in the playoffs and you see a top talented player pulled out because he's got a little wobble and they want to be careful, then we'll know that the culture is changing. But until that happens, I'm not going to hold my breath.
All right. First of all, Vinny, I can't believe, stop with that, man. I couldn't stop laughing for a while. I'm laughing during a very serious question. So I had to look at something else just so I could just to change the message to my brain.
I got flashbacks of your grandma giving you a bath with like an inch of water in there.
I was just gonna say that. I'm going back to like childhood. And you better get, that was too quick. Get back in that bathroom and get back in there. Did you shower? Did you take a bath? Get back in there. And then they start giving you very specific directions about what you need to wash and what you smell like and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, yeah, every 4 days, it's just not acceptable. So Mike, before we let you go, I heard from very good authority that you're a music guy. You're a huge music guy. That's how it was described to me. So I have a question for you and for Vinny. And you know, it's the start of a conversation that will continue another time. I just wanted to get your general thoughts on it. I'm sure you were a Kanye West fan when he came out. Everybody, college dropout, late registration, heartbreak. Okay, yeah, there we go. Heartbreaking, 808s, all that stuff. Dark Twisted Fan. So many good classic albums. Can you listen to Kanye West still? Are you able to separate art from artist? Yes or no?
After the wardrobe, the fashion show. Okay, because I listened to My Dark Twisted Fantasy every day for a year when that came on, you know, and I still was rocking to it. This morning, it looped in when I was at the gym, a Kanye song, and I hit skip. I can't do it.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it.
Can't do it.
Will not.
Won't do it.
Can't do it.
How about you? How about you, Vinny? Can you?
The crazy thing is, I think My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is one of the 10 greatest albums I've ever heard in my life, or at least in my contemporary life, like post-2000 thing. And Devil in a New Dress might be my all-time favorite, you know, Kanye, Rick Ross song. I don't know, man. Because it's like you want to love someone. Like the more you know about someone, the less you want to know. You know, that sort of thing. It's almost like I made a decision maybe 7-8 years ago that I couldn't listen to R. Kelly anymore, right? It was before the trial, before surviving R. Kelly, everything else. You could find a way to separate. And I made a decision about 7-8 years ago, and I haven't missed him, right? Only time you will hear R. Kelly is if he's like in a restaurant or something and someone happens to play it. But with Kanye, he is trending dangerously
at a wedding. Line dancing at every wedding. Right.
We can find another song to hustle too. I'm from Detroit. We can find that's what it is.
Kanye was like the crazy cousin. You're like, oh well, it's okay. He's just our crazy cousin. But now, hey, he's got to get out. He ain't invited to the dinner.
Or the thing that gets me, Holley, is everybody making the excuses. Oh, his mom died, and you know, his mom died like 17 years ago. Like, you haven't addressed your mental health issues to not be out here acting a damn fool, embarrassing yourself and throwing black people under the bus at the same time. If I need to tell Mike McDaniel to take a bath, I need Kyrie to get a little. I don't need Kyrie. Yeah. I need Kanye to get a little lobotomy. That's
all in the same vein, right? Hey, a Freudian slip, right? Freudian, all in the same vein. I can tell you this: I separate. I've done a wonderful job of compartmentalizing. So Kanye's music is over there, and Kanye, I make no excuses for him. I see him for what he is. He's over. He's right here because it's Kanye. The man is in real time. His music has already been made. He can't touch that. Well, he could theoretically, but okay, it's already there. It's his product. Why should we move away from something that's so enjoyable, as Vinny said, so great? And Vinny, I don't think it's a hyperbolic statement. You're right. It is one of the great albums of the 21st century. Why should I give that up? Because the artist who created it is going through his own special something.
It's been
Jesus sucks. I need to say that too. Jesus sucks.
Go back. No, if you go back and listen to it now, like how many years later, it's actually not as bad as what I thought. You know, it's actually pretty good. But
Jesus,
I had to hit skip this morning.
It sucks. Jesus sucks. I'm leaning in to y'all try to convince yourselves that it wasn't as bad as it is. 2 songs out of 10 on that damn album. Jesus sucks.
And this is what I can do, which neither of you will be able to do. I'm going to go back and listen to it and give a review after the fact. I'm going to check it out. But Mike Jones, you say it's not as bad, but you can't listen to it anymore. You've made the decision.
No, I can't.
You're out the game.
I can't do it. Yeah, I'm done. I'm sorry.
But I hope you can come back here, though, man. Great to see you as usual, Mike Jones.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Good to see you.
Appreciate you, Mike. You too, bro.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.